The Boston Celtics have just made a quiet move that could become a very interesting storyline in the coming days. The front office added size to the roster with a short-term decision that immediately raises questions about opportunity and timing. The name is Charles Bassey. According to Michael Scotto, the team agreed to a 10-day contract with the center, a move that signals depth and evaluation at the same time. Before we break down what this could mean for Boston, take a second right now. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the hype button so you do not miss any Boston Celtics news as it happens. Now here is why this story deserves attention. Bassey was once considered one of the top 10 recruits in the country before playing college basketball at Western Kentucky Hilltoppers men's basketball. In the 2021 NBA draft, he was selected with the 53rd pick by the Philadelphia 76ers. Since entering the league, he has spent time developing his game, including a significant stretch with the San Antonio Spurs. During 90 games with San Antonio, Bassey averaged 12 minutes, 4.7 points, and 4.7 rebounds per game. Those numbers may look modest, but they reveal something important. When he gets minutes, he rebounds, protects the rim, and brings physical presence. That type of energy can matter late in the season when depth becomes critical. This season, he also had a brief opportunity with the Memphis Grizzlies, playing 2 games and collecting 15 rebounds in just 31 total minutes. That production stands out for a player who is still searching for consistent playing time. So, the question now is simple. Are the Celtics just filling a short-term roster need? Or are they testing a center who could surprise people inside Boston's rotation? If Bassey gets real minutes during this 10-day window and produces on the glass the way he has before, could this small contract suddenly turn into something much bigger for the Boston Celtics? The Boston Celtics are approaching an important roster deadline, and the next move from the front office is becoming increasingly clear. Boston has spent nearly 2 weeks operating with only 12 players on standard NBA contracts, 2 below the league minimum. That decision wasn't accidental. It reflects a precise financial strategy, as the organization tries to finish the season below the luxury tax while still maintaining roster flexibility. Now attention turns to the date of March 14. By league rules, Boston must return to at least 14 standard contracts. The team has used this exact approach before. At the trade deadline, they converted Amari Williams from a 2-way deal to a standard contract. 14 days later, they signed John Tonge to a 10-day contract and also brought back Delano Banton on the same short-term agreement. That pattern matters because it reveals how calculated the Celtics have been with every roster decision. The organization waits until the final possible moment, protecting financial space while evaluating internal talent. That is where the next move comes into focus. The most logical step now is converting Max Shulga from a 2-way contract into a 10-day NBA deal. Boston selected the former Atlantic 10 Player of the Year with the 57th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, and his production with the Maine Celtics has been impossible to ignore. In 23 games, he is averaging 16.4 points while shooting nearly 40% from three-point range, along with 7 assists and strong defensive activity. This is exactly the type of internal evaluation the Celtics value. A 10-day contract allows the coaching staff to see if his G League production translates to the NBA level. And if the pattern continues, the next step after that could be another 2-way deal that keeps him in the system. But here is the real question as the deadline approaches. If Boston converts Max Shulga to a 10-day contract and he produces immediately, could this quiet roster move suddenly turn into an unexpected contributor for the Celtics rotation at the most important moment of the season? The Boston Celtics may be approaching a decision that could quietly shape the end of their season. One name inside the locker room is gaining serious attention from the coaching staff and the front office. That name is Ron Harper Jr. Harper entered the roster on a 2-way contract, a situation that usually places a player on the edge of the rotation. But over the past games, the 25-year-old wing has done something important. He has forced the organization to pay attention. His integration into the Celtics system has been smooth and, more important, productive. The moment that really accelerated the conversation came on March 10 against the San Antonio Spurs. Harper delivered the best performance of his NBA career with 22 points, shooting 8 of 11 from the field and 6 of 9 from three-point range. That was not empty production. It came against real NBA competition, under pressure, while Boston was dealing with injury. And that was not an isolated moment. Harper followed that performance with another solid outing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The pattern is becoming clear. Efficient scoring, strong rebounding for his position, defensive versatility. These are the exact traits the Celtics value when building a playoff rotation. Inside the organization, the conversation is shifting. Boston can convert his deal into a standard NBA contract near the end of the regular season, a move that would also make him eligible for the playoffs. That timing matters because it allows the team to manage the salary structure while rewarding production. Now the pressure is rising with every game he plays. If Ron Harper Jr. continues to produce when Boston needs depth the most, the Celtics may have no choice but to secure his spot on the roster. And here is the question that suddenly feels very real. If Ron Harper Jr. keeps delivering at this level, are the Celtics about to turn a two-way player into a long-term piece of their rotation right before the playoffs begin? The Boston Celtics entered this NBA season surrounded by doubt. When Jason Tatum suffered an Achilles injury during last year's playoffs, expectations around the league immediately dropped. During the offseason, Boston also moved on from veterans like Drew Holiday, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. Many analysts believed the Celtics would fall in the Eastern Conference standings and possibly fight just to reach the play-in tournament. But that prediction has not matched reality. Under head coach Joe Mazzulla and president of basketball operations Brad Stevens, Boston responded with focus and discipline. Instead of lowering expectations, the locker room raised the standard. Jaylen Brown stepped forward as a clear leader, while Derek White continued proving he is one of the most reliable two-way guards in the league. The supporting cast also delivered. Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Neemias Queta, Jordan Walsh, and Baylor Shireman all contributed in important moments. And now, another key development is changing the conversation. Tatum has returned to the lineup and is working his way back into rhythm just weeks of the playoff. With a record of 43 wins and 23 losses, Boston currently holds the second seed in the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons lead the conference, but the Celtics are in a strong position to stay ahead of the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers as the regular season approaches its final stretch. And that is where the urgency begins to grow. If Boston secures the second seed, the playoff path could become extremely favorable. Home court advantage, controlled matchups, and a healthier roster at the right moment. So now the biggest question is becoming impossible to ignore. After exceeding expectations all season, could the Boston Celtics turn this surprising run into a serious championship push in the 2026 NBA playoffs? If you are following every Boston Celtics update, hit the like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and press the hype button so you never miss the next big Celtics story.